Welcome to Empowering the Educator Within, the podcast that brings you practical insights and honest conversations from the front lines of education. I'm your host, Christina, and today we're exploring an issue that many educators know all too well. Being asked to teach subject areas they're not actually trained for. Now, going into education, I knew I'd be teaching multiple grades throughout my career. That comes with the territory, especially as an elementary French immersion teacher. But what I didn't anticipate was being hired as a middle school French as a second language teacher, only to be assigned other subject areas like language arts, current events, and social studies just to round out my schedule. And while I was able to adapt and pick up those additional curriculums, it left me thinking, what if I had been asked to teach subjects completely outside my area of comfort, like math or science? That would have been a very different story. Sadly, that story is a reality for many educators. I've heard from upper elementary teachers suddenly expected to teach French, without ever having taken a French class themselves. Now, how is that even possible? Teaching a language isn't just about following curriculum. It's about knowing the grammar, modeling correct pronunciation, and understanding the nuance of the language. So how did we get here? And more importantly, what can be done to change course? Let's start by acknowledging the broader context. In many elementary schools today, budgets are tight. The days when every school had its own dedicated art, music, and PE teachers seem to be behind us. And in the scramble to fill gaps, administrators often have to make tough choices, which sometimes leads to asking teachers to step into roles they're not equipped for. One possible solution? A bit of creative reorganization. Picture this. Instead of each grade having its own homeroom teacher, 2 grade 5 classes, for instance, could share one. That teacher could focus on the core subjects, math, science, social studies, across both groups. Meanwhile, specialists at the school could rotate through to cover subjects like music, art, French, or PE. The homeroom teacher would still be teaching the same number of blocks, just to more students in fewer subjects, reducing planning load while allowing specialists to stay in their areas of expertise. It's not a one-size-fits-all fix, but it's an option that could bring some relief in elementary settings. But what about middle school and high school? Here, the path might look different. Perhaps those educators could be given additional prep period with the expectation that they take online professional development in the new subject areas. It's not ideal. Time and funding are always barriers. But if we're asking teachers to step into unfamiliar territory, support must come alongside that ask. And maybe it's time we rethink how secondary teachers are prepared at the university level. Instead of specializing in just 1 or 2 areas, why not train them in 3 or 4 subject areas? It could provide the flexibility schools need without compromising the quality of instruction students receive. Now, I don't have all the answers, but I do know that the status quo, asking teachers to deliver subjects they aren't trained in, often without support, isn't good for anyone. Not for teachers, and certainly not for students. So let's keep the conversation going. If you've experienced this in your own teaching journey, or have thoughts on how schools could better structure subject assignments, I'd love to hear from you. You can read the full article on this topic over at the education blog on shalabooks.com. And while you're there, explore more ideas and resources to support your work in the classroom. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode of Empowering the Educator Within. Until next time, take care and keep doing the amazing work you do.